Hey guys, this is gonna be a quick recording. I'm making this in the middle of Gojiguy's live stream, and it's gonna be a very brief overview of the hybrid. For more specific info, I highly recommend you go check out the doc in the description. You saw the title, and immediately a few issues come to mind. The first one being that's impossible, and you're right. If I just threw an arthropod at Vex like a lobster, it wouldn't do anything to Vex at all. First of all, even if it could avoid getting injured, it basically has nothing it can do against the Vex. Nothing. I mean, but before we get too carried away with how it's gonna kill Vex, let's first go over how it's gonna stay alive against Vex. First of all, we don't have to focus too much on armor since in water has more resistance than air. Blah blah blah. Vex doesn't have raptorial arms, and yeah, it'll make it much harder to slap an arthropod in the water. Its armor will just be the segmented carapace of an amphipod. Um, it's backed by the giant isopod's armor, and we use the Norway king crab's spiny back to integrate stonefish spines. These are just to cause slight motor paralysis. It really isn't meant to do much damage. It's just to pose a risk or hazard. What we're gonna focus on are just mobility and escape maneuvers to stay alive against Vex. First of which is modifying its pleopods. Our base is an American lobster, and even though lobsters can already swim through open waters, they're not very good at doing so. We're going to use the krill's pleopods, which are much larger in comparison with the rest of its body. It'll just allow our hybrid to move it through the water in general. Second is going to be the Henslow swimming crab. We're going to remove the walking feature of its hind legs and replace it with two swimming paddles. It's going to be enlarged by the Eurypterid acutaramus floweri. There isn't really a general name for it. And second, and after that, we'll use the spiny lobster's tail. Spiny lobsters are more adept at using what's called the choroid escape maneuver. It's when a crustacean quickly flexes its tail repeatedly to burst an incredible distance in a very short period of time to get away from predators if it feel like it's being threatened. It'll use this alongside the called I don't even know how to say it, Aco, then Pyropurpia. It's called the fire breathing shrimp. Basically, it has modified hepatopancreas that secrete a bioluminescent glowing fluid out of its mouth and will use this to use Vex's intelligence against itself. But what it'll do is, if it does feel like it's in danger, it'll just expel this fluid so it basically doxes its location or reveals its location with this bright fluid, and then it uses the tail to just get away from where it looks like it is. Um, the main onto the intelligence part. Well, onto the intelligence part. We'll just use the mantis shrimp to And basically, what's really neat about this is that arthropods have a much more simplistic genetic structure compared to vertebrates, especially when it comes to supernumerary limbs. Basically, arthropods, already have more than just four legs, so there will be less neural problems when we integrate anything compared to limbs. Mantis shrimps basically just improve its intelligence in general. Mantis shrimps are known to use trial and error learning when it comes to hunting prey, and our harbor will use this in a main part of its battle strategy that we'll talk about later. Um, the other physical tools that it uses are, well, its base already has pinchers tipped on its legs, and it'll use this to grip onto Vex's skin alongside suction cups, which use negative fluid pressure. It uses the suction cups from the fish lice and the diving beetle. Now, how will it get through Vex's armor once it has attached to its back? There's a variety of tools. Starting off, we have the amphipod limbs. We will modify the first set of appendages to become subchelato skeleton shrimp gnathopods. And what they'll do is they'll act more as a piercer, a starting piercer. Its mandibles will be modified to be the chelicerae of the aforementioned Eurypterid chelicerae. It's just, well, just general chewing and tearing. And the remaining pair of maxillipeds will just be the isopods. Isopods use these to chew through wood, chew through whale carcasses, stuff like that. And we'll use the mud crab's claws in place of the lobster claws. So what this nasty looking crab does is, compared to lobsters that mainly use their claws to crush objects, the mud crab uses its claws that are serrated and sharper to just cut through things rather than crush them. It'll use this to just shear through Vex's skin combined with its other tools. And now, how will it kill Vex? Um, Venom. Now, if you want to know the specifics of how this venom works, just go down to the Google Docs. Now here's the thing is, well, Vex isn't actually completely immune to venom. Barracudas are only proven to be partially immune to lionfish venom and need prior buildup to do so. Second is the only other thing protecting Vex from venom is its size. And, well, it's just size because it takes longer for the toxins to circulate through a larger animal. Our hybrid will utilize the isopod's metabolism to allow it to stay attached to Vex without leaving for up to several hours, days, or weeks. Its custom venom will be scaled up with a very large number of contributors. Um, the venom is delivered through various appendages. First is a sea centipede, claws, and giant water bug, rostrum, as well as the aforementioned skeleton shrimp gnathopods. The venom will be separated into many different glands and structures. Basically, there's one in the claws that just it's more in depth in the docs, but basically this ensures that each gland only produces a hybridization of 2 to 3 different venoms at a time. And yeah, that's it. It's overall fighting strategy. If I'm just gonna sum it up, is simple: is maneuver around Vex, attach to the top side, or literally just anywhere, and then tear through the armor and inject the venom over the course of several hours, days, or weeks. Basically, a battle of attrition, and that's it. That's a summary of the Zygote Zero Malacostraca water bug. It's a completely different approach to killing the Vex rather than brute force. I'm very glad to have put this guy together. I forfeited my chemistry grades these past few days into researching this hybrid, and I have no regrets. Thank you so much for your time, and I love you, Gojiguy.